The film begins with a scene of Ray being chased by the police. He's standing on the roof of a soccer stadium, surrounded by the police from all sides, so he decides to jump into the river next to the stadium. We then go back a few years, and we see a family consisting of a husband, a wife, and a child, living in utter happiness. But happiness doesn't last. The wife is diagnosed with cancer and begins her treatment journey, but the results aren't promising. After a while, her doctor informs Ray and their daughter that a new treatment is coming to the market very soon. We learn that Ray is a fighter and is used to going to the gym regularly. He trains his daughter in self-defense techniques, and she turns out to be talented in fighting. At the hospital, the doctor in charge of the wife's case informs them that the manufacturer of the new drug has withdrawn it from the market and is delaying it, purely to make more money, of course. While at the hospital, Ray sees an interview on TV with the CEO of the new drug company. A U.S. congresswoman named Morgan is attacking the company for withdrawing the drug from the market for financial reasons. As they are discussing, Ray calls into the program. He speaks to the company's CEO and tells him, "I took out a bank loan using the house as collateral, and I'm working 2 shifts a day, all after I found out your drug was on the market, but you withdrew it again. You've taken everything from me." He threatens the CEO, saying that if his wife dies, he will come after him and kill him. And indeed, Amanda dies. 6 months later, Ray and his daughter are at home. A journalist named Martin calls Ray and asks for his help in bringing down the drug company owners. He says he has information that could send important people to jail and asks Ray to meet him at the metro station in 20 minutes. Rachel wants to go with him, but he refuses and tells her to stay home and finish her homework. Ray goes to the metro station and calls the journalist. The journalist tells him, "Get on the next train." But Rachel has followed her father and is watching him. The journalist tells Ray to get off at the next station, follow him, and board another train. Rachel gets on the train with them. The main point, Ray meets the journalist, who asks for his help in stirring up public opinion against the pharmaceutical company. While they are talking, a professional assassin appears, stabs the journalist in the liver, and kills him instantly. Ray runs after him and gets into a fight with him. Rachel calls out to her father because she is afraid for him. Ray tells her to run, but she refuses and tries to help her father. The assassin throws her off the train. Ray was stronger than the assassin and was on the verge of defeating him, but his worry for Rachel made him lose focus on the assassin, who seized the opportunity and also stabbed him in the liver, throwing him off the train. 24 months later, we see Rachel at the gym, training alone without her father. We notice she has become fiercer in fighting, and anger dominates her. The U.S. Congresswoman is at a press conference with the CEO of the pharmaceutical company, announcing that the company's drug will finally be released to the market at an affordable price for the public. Rachel was watching the conference, but Ray was completely preoccupied with something else. He had everything about the drug company's CEO pinned to his wall and was monitoring his every move. Rachel asks him to drop it because the police investigated and found nothing, but Ray is determined. We see the company holding a charity gala for UNICEF to help the poor in India. Ray enters the venue through the staff's back door, wearing their uniform, and goes to the bathroom, putting an out-of-service sign on it. Ray walks among the guests and goes up to the company's director. He spills a glass on the director's trousers, so the director decides to go to the bathroom to dry them. He finds the main bathroom out of service, but there is another one on the ground floor. Ray appears, attacks the guards, and says to the director, "I warned you I would kill you." He tells him that he hired an assassin to get rid of the journalist, but the director denies it, saying, "I don't know what you're talking about." He informs Ray that he is just a puppet, and that the decision lies with the chairman of the board. One of the guards regains consciousness and fights Ray. The director pulls out his gun, but Ray makes him shoot his own guard. Ray seizes the opportunity and strangles the director until he dies. Ray returns home and tells Rachel to pack her things because they are leaving the house immediately. Back at the gala, the police arrive and try to get any information from the guard who is still alive. He tries to remember anything and recalls hearing the man who attacked them say to the director, "I warned you I would kill you if anything happened to my wife." Ray and Rachel try to escape to Canada. Meanwhile, the police find the recording of Ray's threat to the director, so they issue an alert with the car's description to the authorities. However, the pharmaceutical company has people in the government and sends the car's information to 2 hired assassins. Ray and Rachel decide to rest for the night at a hotel. Rachel calls a police detective and learns that the director's death was ruled an accident, deemed self-defense, and that the real criminal is the company, not her father. The detective asks her to buy a new phone and call her from her personal number, giving Rachel her number. Ray sets up alarm bells on the door of their hotel floor to alert him if anyone is pursuing them. The 2 hired assassins arrive at the hotel. Ray hears the sound of the bell he set up, so he and Rachel quickly get out. He fights and manages to take down the first one. As he runs, he encounters the second assassin, who is armed with a shotgun. Ray grabs an axe and attacks the assassin. They both fall onto a car. The assassin tries to shoot Ray, but as they fall off the car, the assassin accidentally shoots himself. The police arrive at Ray's apartment and find the photos pinned to the walls, all of the pharmaceutical company's director. They confirm that Ray is the wanted person. We see the assassin who killed the journalist standing at a used car dealership. He likes a car, so he kills the dealership owner and takes the weapons and the car he liked, then begins pursuing Ray. Ray pulls over and goes into the forest. He searches through the phone of one of the hired assassins he killed and finds that the last calls were all from the company's chairman. He searches online, finds his address, and decides that he must eliminate the chairman because he will never stop pursuing them. He begins to execute his plan. Meanwhile, Rachel calls the detective and tells her that 2 men tried to kill them. She begins to tell her about her mother, their life before, and about the doll her mother made for her while she was in the hospital. Ray and Rachel reach the house of the company's chairman, Shaw. Shaw was heading to the airport with his family. Ray races them on the road and places spikes on the road to puncture their tires. The first car, which had the children in it, had its tire punctured and pulled over to the side. The others continued on the road. Ray reaches the bridge, which is the location of the second trap. The cars arrive but find a fallen tree blocking the end of the tunnel. Shaw senses something is wrong and orders the cars to turn back. However, Ray crashes into the lead car with a loader and blocks the tunnel, trapping Shaw. Shaw tries to escape, but his car gets stuck on the fallen tree. The professional assassin arrives from the other side of the bridge and fires a rocket at Shaw's car. Shaw escapes from the car, but Ray captures him. Ray tries to get information from him, who ordered the journalist's killing, and who took the bribes from the company. While he is interrogating him, the assassin shoots Shaw in the head. Ray runs from him and quickly gets into a car to escape. As he flees, the assassin shoots at the car's tires. After driving for a while, they abandon their car in the forest and continue on foot. They reach a gas station, find it closed, and see a tow truck there, so they take it. As they are driving, they see the assassin's car parked in front of a restaurant. Ray drives the truck around and they enter the restaurant. Inside the restaurant, there is a police patrol having dinner, meaning the assassin won't be able to do anything. Ray goes and sits next to the assassin and tells him, "Shaw is dead now, so stay away from me." But the assassin says, "I don't work for Shaw. My mission was to kill him because his existence threatened my employer." Ray offers him 3 options: tell the police officers present who they are, walk away and not come after him, or tell him who hired him, and whoever finds the other later kills him. So he tells him, Diana Morgan, the senator who was attacking the pharmaceutical company for the sake of the poor, turns out to be the mafia boss herself. The assassin says to Rachel, "I'll see you in Pittsburgh." Ray and Rachel return to Pittsburgh. A report had been filed with the police about the stolen tow truck from the location where Ray left his car. The police and helicopters begin to pursue them. Ray tries to escape from the helicopters. He reaches the bridge leading to the soccer stadium, but finds it jammed because the match has just ended and people are leaving the stadium. Ray gets out of the car and runs towards the stadium, while Rachel disappears into the crowd. He enters the stadium amidst the chaos, with the police following him in. Ray tries to escape them and ends up on the roof above the stands. With the police closing in, the detective tries to talk to him. It's then that Rachel herself emerges, and we learn that Ray actually died from the stab wound on the train. She has been suffering from a psychological condition, blaming herself for her father's death because she followed him and was the reason he was killed. The detective says to her, "Tell me your name?" This snaps her out of the dissociative state she was in, and she regains consciousness after saying her name. Rachel tries to escape and jumps from the top of the stadium into the river. The police rescue her and put her in an ambulance. She regains consciousness inside the ambulance, attacks everyone inside, including the detective, assaults the driver, the ambulance overturns, and she escapes. Later, she goes to an election campaign event for Senator Morgan, who is speaking about corporate corruption and how she will fight corruption for the poor. Rachel spots the assassin and leaves the event. She goes to the building where Senator Morgan's office is located. The back of the building is under renovation. Rachel places a bag outside a window at the back of the building containing weapons, then enters the building normally. Later, she retrieves the bag from the window. While she is searching for Senator Morgan, the assassin appears. She escapes from him through the window and descends into the renovation area. The assassin follows her, armed with a gun, but she manages to disarm him. They struggle and fall into a fountain, fighting each other. The assassin tries to strangle her underwater, and she is nearly dead, but at the last moment, she fights back, manages to pin him down, and stabs him multiple times with a knife, killing him. She goes to Senator Morgan, who is alone in the office. The senator tries to deceive her with political talk, promising to help her and drop the charges, but Rachel forces her to confess that she accepted the bribe from the pharmaceutical company and ordered the journalist's killing, meaning she is ultimately responsible for her father's death. death. Afterwards, Rachel leaves her and escapes. She hides the wounds on her face with makeup, having a prepared passport. But before traveling, she sends the audio recording of the senator's confession to the police. The police open an investigation into the case, and Senator Diana Morgan is arrested. Rachel travels and leaves America in peace.
And that concludes today's film. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and hit the bell icon to stay updated. Share your thoughts in the comments, and stay tuned for the next summary. Goodbye!